Welcome to the latest episode of the Custom Private Equity Podcast. What makes a good deal? Today we will talk with Paul Anthony Thomas, the principal at CustomPrivateEquity.com. I'm Ron Davis, experienced podcaster, and I'll be asking all the newbie questions. How you doing, Paul?
I'm great, Ron. Can you hear me? How are you?
I can and find, build, or evaluate deals for private equity investors. Today, why don't we talk about what makes a good deal? So what does make a good deal?
Well, the first thing, in our opinion, the first thing that you need to have a really good deal is deep research into the marketplace, into what the deal consists of, understanding what other types of deals in the investment arena work, how they work. Private equity deals have 1,000 different types of structures. We like to use the KISS principle where we keep our deals pretty simple. It's not, if you don't keep them simple, the details get lost in the woods after 10 years. Another thing that is imperative is that you as an investor have a really good understanding of what the company is all about, what the company is doing, whether it's a computer programming company, or whether it's an oil field service company, or whether it's any type of company, retail, wholesale, whatever. You need a deep understanding of what they're doing. This back to the Warren Buffett's. He doesn't really invest much in things he doesn't understand, and most successful investors in the world are that way. The fourth thing that we need is experienced managers who are very diligent. If they're experienced, they're going to understand the business. They're going to know where the pitfalls are. If they're diligent about their work, they're going to show up at the office at 8 or 9 o'clock every morning, and they're going to be there, and they're going to work, and they're going to be in the field when they're supposed to be, and they're going to be arranging financing when they're supposed to be, and they're going to be diligent about their work. And then one of the most critical things is that a new business has to have the proper level of capital. One of the biggest death sentences for business is to start it with not enough capital in the bank. Not enough money to pay your employees, not enough money to buy gasoline, not enough money to do the proper marketing. That's incredibly important. The marketing plan is another thing that is a major pitfall. I was just in a meeting with a guy a few minutes ago, and he says, "I don't have a business plan for this, but I know it'll make money." Well, that's not a very well thought out plan. Luckily, I've been in the business before, and I understand what it takes to make the business work. So I do have a plan for it, and it's not a written plan, but I could write it down in just a matter of a couple of days and actually outline a marketing plan and a due diligence plan for that business. And I've been there before, so I understand how that works. Those are the 5 really major things that we have to have a successful business.
You said you have to understand the arena. And I know we've had discussions because I come with a computer background. I understand tech, but I don't necessarily understand oil and gas, which is more your arena. So does that mean that you and Custom Private Equity wouldn't look at tech deals because you don't necessarily understand that field?
No, that's not what that means, because I have a pretty deep understanding of tech and how it works. I've been bought my first computer in 1976 and have been deep in computers for a long time. So I understand. Programmed in the past. I understand how that arena works. There are certain parts of the arena I do not understand, and if I did not understand it, I would not invest in somebody that was doing it.
So how do you determine a proper level of capital?
You take what you think it's going to cost and you multiply that by 3.
Okay, so you say you think it's going to cost to what point?
So the rule of thumb in the business world is that you take the experienced partner's estimate and you double the length of the time and you double the amount of capital. So when you do both of those, you've basically at least tripled the amount of capital it's going to take to get that business up and running.
Right.
And that's held true for us for 35 years now. So
yeah.
That's kind of the numbers we use.
So it's interesting to me because I started a company that was way undercapitalized. And part of that was not understanding how long it would take. Right. That's, what they called in the tech field was runway. Like, how long can you go? Or your burn rate is how fast you're spending, and runway is how long you can spend that before you're out of money. And so you're saying you take the experienced guy's idea how long it's going to take, and you double that.
That's right.
And then you take what they think the burn rate's going to be, and you double that too. So that
That's right. That's right. And
Yeah.
that's going to should give you an adequate amount of capital, as long as you're careful and you don't make any extraordinary expenses that, are optional expenses. You don't go off and buy new vehicles for all the employees and stuff like that. It's just, you do daily business.
right,
That should get you to where you want to be.
right, and handle all the things that will come up, not that might come up, that will come up.
That will come up. That's right.
Yeah. Is good marketing, like what constitutes good marketing? Does that vary by industry? Like if you're in the oil field, is that different marketing than you need if you're in self-storage?
Yes, it varies by the deal. It's very important in the self-storage business to enter the market in a certain way and with a certain amount of capital in the bank. And when you're buying an oil and gas lease, there's really not a whole lot of marketing that goes with that. But you have to understand the market that you're selling into.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we bought our last oil lease, we were selling into a $50 market. Well, all of a sudden, it was a $20 market. And for a month, it was a negative market. Nobody in the world expected that. So that's part of the double and double. That's part of the twice as long with twice as much money. So those are the kind of details that you can't ever expect. You never expect things like that to happen, but they do happen. So you have to be prepared for that. And if we had prepared for $20 oil, that would be great, but negative oil would have put us in bankruptcy. Well, luckily we don't borrow much money. We have private equity investor partners, and it didn't put us in bankruptcy, but it hurt the deal. It extended it an extra year so far.
I think we've given some people some good tips on what a good deal looks like. Do you have any parting words on good deals?
No, I appreciate your time, Ron, today, and thank you for showing up. I appreciate it.
If you want more information about today's topic, go to customprivateequity.com. There are a number of resources there, as well as multiple ways to contact Paul. Once again, that URL is customprivateequity.com.